Why are Nigerians like this? These criminals are stealing your money. They are ripping you off your wealth and that of your generation unborn, and you guys do nothing. This is an argument between two people. These guys who are throwing in argumentative punches towards each other. And why are they doing this? Why did they choose to start to talk on the social media, kicking each other left and right and passing the blame around? It was all about the Nigerian budget, the Renew Hope budget of 2024. One of the guys expected the Nigerians to stand up and say something about it. His expectation wasn't met because he believed Nigerians are so laissez-faire. They show that whatever that is happening doesn't concern them at all. Their attitude, he believes, sucks. While the other guys believe in what is going on in Nigeria. Both of them are fighting. I don't know who is right. I don't know who is wrong. And I don't know which position you also, my listener, wants to take. Is he for or against what is going on in Nigeria? Talking about the Renew Hope budget, there are some excerpts in there that made these guys to face each other. Number one, in the budget, 212 billion was earmarked to put in place 1,150 streetlights. Each streetlight, meaning that each streetlight will cost over 100 million naira each. Second thing to note, or second item to note, is what is earmarked for borehole, which is 82.5 billion, was earmarked to dig borehole or to sink borehole, as we call it, 427,000 boreholes. And you start to wonder why boreholes and what happened to the water boards, Ministry of Water Resources and all the rest. What happened to them? And why are Nigerians digging boreholes? Not even Nigerians, the officials, the representatives. Why is it that borehole is the main project that is supposed to give out to the people? The third item that amazed me is 309.35 billion earmarked for 170 ICT project, whatever that means. I think you, my listeners, can defend this or educate me more on this. Number 4, 7.61 billion was earmarked, budgeted for traditional rulers. They said empowerment for the traditional rulers. So then, can you understand now? Because traditional rulers are always on the side of the politicians. So now, for the first time, they crept into the Nigerian budget, the Renew Hope budget, empowerment or empowering the traditional ruler. Then number 5, 1.33 trillion for health sector. So, despite all these budgets, despite all this allocation of monies, the hospital are still not being able to pay their electricity, not to even talk about getting drugs or getting new equipment or modern equipment into the hospital. Because the hospital over there now, I don't know, you, my listener, can just educate me. 1.33 trillion. Then I have under number 6, 2.118 trillion for education. So do you think this is all right? Talk about the money and talk about the environment or the education sector itself. That's what I'm asking of. Number 7, defense ministry or defense sector. They have 3.25 trillion earmarked for them. Number 8, earmarked for social development. You have 534 billion earmarked for social development. Then you have infrastructure, 1.32 trillion earmarked for that. And the total number or the total figure of the whole budget was put at 28.77 trillion. So that is about $34 billion. So, and they continue the argument. What is going to happen to the pastors and the imams? When are they going to creep in? So that is number 1. And I was made to understand that there used to be honorable men of courage in those days that would stand up, put argument on the table to be able to stop the politician or to put them in check. But right now and these days, I don't think things like that are happening anymore. I remember in those days too, the Nigerian Association of Students Union, when things wants to go wrong, you always see them standing up and say enough is enough. And I remember courageous men in the labor unions of those days. And I remember the Human Rights Society, an organization, the civil society organization. I remember in those days. I remember all the trade unions in those days, whereby they always stand up to check the government or to check those people in power so that at least they can control if they are doing well or not. All these times I was trying to remember that we have military men in power at that time. But today, the military and the politicians seems to be the same. They wear the same gown and you cannot even differentiate. Does it concern you at all? And which side are you staying in this argument? Thank you for watching. And if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing so that you won't miss out in my latest video. Kindly like and share.